Welcome to the very first episode of the People Dividend Podcast. I am your host, Mike Horne, and I'm passionate about people, their stories, and the power they hold within organizations. Before we dive into our conversation, let's set the stage for what's to come. Each week, we'll be hearing from innovative professionals, thought leaders, and industry experts, all with unique perspectives on the world of work. We aim to redefine how businesses view their most valuable assets, their people. In these dialogues, we will unravel the unlimited potential of human capital and its direct correlation with business success. We'll work on debunking the outdated notions of people as just resources. And instead, we'll explore the innovative ways in which people are the very heartbeat of organizational growth, innovation, and success. Each week, I'll be inviting special guests to help us navigate these questions. But before we dive into the stimulating conversations we're going to have on the People Dividend, let's take a moment to acknowledge the purpose of this podcast. The People Dividend Podcast is here to change narratives and reshape perspectives. We're here to celebrate the diversity and power of human stories, and through these dialogues, provoke thought. As we embark on this journey together, let's set our sights on the next few episodes. We'll be diving into the pivotal topics that serve as the cornerstones of our discussions and on the paradigm shift in how we perceive human capital. Each topic is an essential piece of the puzzle, shedding light on the multifaceted ways in which people contribute to the overall success of an organization. Let's take a brief glimpse ahead of what's ahead. Here are four of the topics we'll consider. First, what are the most innovative practices businesses are implementing to unlock the potential of their human capital? Second, how are organizations redefining the role of employees in their operational success? Third, what role do diversity and inclusion and belonging play in fostering a productive and creative working environment? And fourth, as an example, can we measure the impact of viewing people as the heartbeat of an organization rather than just resources? In each episode, we're going to transition to a deeper exploration of what we like to refer to, what I like to refer to as the people dividend. Much like financial dividends, the people dividend is a return on investment. But in this case, the investment is in people, their growth, and their well-being. I'm going to give you 6 key areas in which investing can create the metaphorical dividends related to people and ultimately contribute to an organization's success. The first is building trust. And this is something I've been articulating since I wrote Integrity by Design, Working and Living Authentically. Trust is at the cornerstone of effective leadership and getting people to bring the best of who they are to what they do. Leaders who adopt a people-centric approach often are cultivating these high levels of trust within their team. And this trust yields dividends in the form of increased engagement, improved teamwork, and heightened overall productivity. These are all things that are of important consideration to chief executives, to chief people officers or chief human resources officers. Engagement, teamwork, productivity, and essential to providing great customer experiences. So we're going to focus a lot on building trust, but we'll also focus on promoting intrinsic motivation. By recognizing and valuing the unique talents and passions of employees, leaders can boost intrinsic motivation, leading to increased creativity, innovation, and job satisfaction. If you were to ask me, what keeps an organization in business for 100 years or over 100 years, it is the ability to innovate. And that rests on so many foundations that we'll have an opportunity to explore, whether it's the foundation of values, the development of strategic missions and goals that support those missions. So we've got this aspect of building trust, promoting intrinsic motivation. And by intrinsic, I mean, going beyond bells and whistles of more money, more gifts, more rewards, and really thinking about what inspires human performance. It's that inner side. And what leaders do to make that happen is how they value and how they recognize the talents and passions of employees so that employees bring their best to everything that they do. We're also going to take a third topic, which is how do we foster open communication? How do we change our organizations and systems from a predominant paradigm of guarded and cautious communication? Oh, what can I say? What can I say? To moving into open and authentic communication. And when we have open and authentic communication, it's a focus on people, nurturing environments where dialogue is encouraged, where we move beyond discussion and we move beyond debate, and we move into the realm of dialogue, which ultimately leads to better problem solving, better decision making, and better conflict resolution between and among employees. It's this ability to foster open and authentic communication that, like trust, is often at the bedrock of effective organizations and the organizations we most admire. What we'll also concern ourselves with in the People Dividend podcast is about strengthening employee retention. I think gone are the days where we can treat people as a commodity, where we continue to put at will at the forefront, as opposed to what is it that I need to do as a leader to invest in people, and what are the ways in which I create systems that support that. Employees are more likely to stay and grow within an organization that values them as individuals and invests in their personal development. I've often thought that the best way to create inclusion in organizations is to begin with saying hello. And that permits us to move beyond seeing people as elements of production. I need this report. I need this action. It is about how do we strengthen our belief in the value of people, what they bring, so that we develop long-term relationships with people who promote our investment in them and that encourage them to stay and deliver great results to customers. So we've got, these things going. We're talking about building trust. We're talking about promoting intrinsic motivation. We're talking about fostering open and authentic communication. We're talking about how this strengthens employee retention. And as two other items, this all relates to decision making. In the world-class organizations in which I've had an opportunity to lead, decision making is so central to creating great places to work, to creating places where people do their best work. Leaders who trust, who empower their employees to foster a culture of ownership and accountability are those organizations that succeed. When we have good and effective decision making in an organization, it not only uplifts employee morale, but it enhances the quality of decision making across the organization. And that is often a key to organization survival and to organizations thriving. Do we have the right decision making processes in place where people really feel this sense of ownership, engagement, and accountability? And as we do all of this, I think what it contributes to is really the sixth item that we'll focus so much on in the People Dividend, which is how does this boost organizational reputation? It's by taking this people first attitude. That's what enhances an organization's reputation. If you've got a great reputation, you have people who want to come to work for you. You'll have people breaking down the doors to work for your organization. It makes you an employer of choice. It attracts top talent, and it creates a positive public image. It's really what people and employees want, and certainly what customers want. So with these areas of focus in mind, organizational reputation, decision-making, retention, open and authentic communication, intrinsic motivation, and building trust, I think we have the capacity in the People Dividend Podcast to provide all of our listeners with actionable insights, innovative strategies, and inspiring stories that you're going to hear from our guests. So as we embark on the People Dividend journey, I'm looking forward to hearing and providing you with real world experiences and case studies on how people are capitalizing on their People Dividend. So whether you're a business leader, and many of my clients are in science, technology, and engineering, or a people and culture professional, as we used to say, an HR professional, or simply an individual interested in the evolution of workplaces, the People Dividend Podcast is going to have something for you. So I'm encouraging you as we launch the People Dividend Podcast, not only to sit back, but to engage with us, to have a dialogue with me, to engage thoughtfully with our guests and see the world, be prepared to see the world of work through a new lens. This isn't simply a podcast. It's not just a podcast. Really what I'm promoting here is a revolution in understanding the true value of people in business. This is my world. This is my work about people-centered performance. I encourage you to visit me at mike-horne.com to learn about people-centered performance, and encourage you to have a dialogue. So I'm so grateful for those of you who are at the beginning of this journey that we're taking together. And thank you for joining me on the People Dividend Podcast and this initial episode, because I want to say, stay tuned, everyone. We're just beginning. We're just getting started on ways that will revolutionize how we think about and how leaders act in creating the new world of work. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to the initial episode of the People Dividend Podcast, and I'm looking forward to being on this journey with you. Thanks.